You were a worthy opponent, my friend. Now, where to place you?
Hey, Ned? What is this place?
This is my trophy room.
Your trophy room.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this was back here. You know how far down the hall I went? I mean, I passed the dungeon, the solarium, your basement for some reason, the library, the lounge.
You didn't know this was back here?
No.
Yeah, just go past the bathroom and take a left.
There's like 30 bathrooms here.
My hands are full.
Whatever, I'll get it. Hello? Who? Slow down. I can't.
Who is it?
That doesn't make any sense. That can't be. Oh. It's for you. They're calling all creeps.
Drinking with Goosebumps. Viewer beware, you're in for a scare.
Welcome to Goosebumps!
Wow, thanks, Chef. What's our secret ingredient today?
Love between Ned and I, and none for you.
Sounds like every fucking episode.
Don't give us that look.
The secret ingredient is Rohypnol. Because today we're reviewing Calling All Creeps. And creeps are really good at giving you a roofie.
That's right, Bob. Today we're reading Goosebumps number 50, Calling All Creeps. Just dial 555-CREEP. Reach out and scare someone. Ricky Beamer is furious when he gets kicked off the school paper, so he decides to play a joke on Tasha, the bossy editor-in-chief. Just a little joke. Harmless, really.
I work on the paper, but she never lets me do a story. She always calls me a creep.
After school one day, he sticks a message in the paper. If you're a creep, call Tasha after midnight, it reads. But somehow, Ricky's message gets messed up, and now he's getting calls.
Hello?
I'm a creep. When do we meet?
Strange calls from kids who say they are creeps. Creeps with scaly purple skin and long, sharp bangs.
But before that, Bob, let's check in with Amy for the shot.
Hi guys, today's shot is Calling All Creams. Crème de framboise, crème de violette, crème de cassis, crème de cacao, crème de menthe, and crème de rose. Ooh, that smells interesting. You could put that on waffles. Cheers, guys. It's syrup.
Now that's fancy.
We'd have dry ice in here, but it's all being used for the vaccine right now.
Yeah, so we're drinking lukewarm shot to save Grandma. That fucking selfish bitch. This is a landmark to book number 50.
God, and it only feels like 8,000. We haven't hit over 9,000 yet.
Do you see that guy sneaking up to the school? That's me, Ricky Beamer.
Meet Ricky Beamer. His name is fucking Ricky Beamer. That's all I've got to say. That's my whole review of the book.
First of all, if we're gonna start going on names, how about Dick Wortman?
Breathe on him, Wart.
If there was a name that we should focus on, it's Dick Wortman. Dick Wortman.
Do we have to take a shot if we have dick warts, since they said dick warts in the book?
Yep.
No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, huh?
Yeah, so our cast of characters is Ricky Beamer, new girl Iris, Tasha, who heads up the newspaper, who Ricky doesn't like, because he basically gets kicked off the newspaper by
Miss
Tasha.
Richardson.
Miss Richardson, and these 4 bullies who are like new to the school this year.
His enemies.
Wart, Brenda, and 2 other kids. Here's a line that I enjoyed. I call them my 4 enemies because ... They're my 4 enemies.
My favorite is when Brenda squirts all over Ricky.
All right. Opa!
Ricky's not very popular at school. So Monday in class, new girl shows up, Iris. And he's tasked with showing her around. So he does. And he's all nervous because everyone hates him and makes fun of him. Like literally everyone hates him.
Yeah, well, they call him
Teachers,
Sicky Ricky.
Sicky Ricky, Ricky Rat.
Ricky Rat.
Yeah.
Well. If it isn't Ricky the Rat.
Don't call me that.
We gotta take a shot because our character has a nickname.
Sicky Ricky.
Oh God, that smell.
It still tastes like bathwater, and somehow it's still all over my hands.
Whoa.
They make a point to really hammer it home that he is very much the outcast, like.
Which
everybody
makes you
fucks
wonder
with him
why,
all
because
the
they don't
time.
do a really good job of like.
He's like, he doesn't say, well, I used to eat worms in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
He's not like a fat kid. There's like no underlying reason
Just
why.
don't like
they're
it.
just mean as shit to him. So
That's
when
interesting.
he goes all,
I can't relate with that at all.
Yeah, why would you? You suck. Anyway, he's showing her around. He encounters his enemies at lunch, and they trip him and like make him look like an asshole in front of her. And he's just like, this sucks!
Okay, so Ricky Beamer was on the newspaper. Tasha is this student who, like 8th grade student who is leading the newspaper.
The editor-in-chief, probably, the student editor. Ricky gets fired because he got Pepsi all over Tasha's keyboard.
It's journalistic integrity right there.
Pretty much.
He's so mad at Tasha that he basically is like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sneak into the newspaper computer lab.
Calling all creeps. If you're a real creep, call Tasha McLean.
And on the footer of the newspaper, he sneaks this tiny print thing that says, "Attention all creeps, calling all
It says
creeps."
calling all creeps, calling all creeps.
I don't know why I said attention all
Calling-
creeps. Like literally in the name of the book.
Calling all creeps. After midnight,
Call Tasha at blah, blah, blah after
555
midnight.
Klondike.
gets back out the window.
Almost gets caught.
Almost gets caught. Gets home. He's like so excited. Newspaper comes out the next day.
But instead of Tasha, it says calling all creeps, call Ricky Beamer.
Ricky Beamer.
So, did you get any calls last night? I saw you running away, you little rodent.
Basically, he confronts Tasha, and she's like, "Yeah, I changed it."
Somehow the kid's up after midnight. His phone starts ringing, and then it's just ringing off the hook.
And it's the creeps. The creeps are like, when are we meeting? What's the plan?
Yeah, we saw your message. What's the plan?
When do we plant them?
I'm a creep. I saw your message. I'm ready to plant the seeds, ready to rule.
So this basically goes on for a couple days where he's getting what he thinks are these prank calls.
I've been getting these calls from people who say they're creeps.
Listen, you know that big bake sale this Friday? I was gonna make some cookies. Do you want to meet me after school and go shopping?
Really?
So Ricky is supposed to meet Iris one day after school to help go buy baking supplies. There's a school bake sale coming up on Saturday. And so he's waiting outside for her when he gets confronted by the 4 bullies. And they're like, "Oh, Ricky, we didn't know you were a creep. We didn't know you were our commander."
They start calling him Commander.
Yeah, we're all creeps, and you're our creep commander, and
We saw your message.
We got your message. We are ready.
all the 4 bullies turn into these creeps, and they start talking about, oh yeah, we need to plant these seeds into the food and turn all the kids in the middle school into creeps like us, and you'll be the commander. And then suddenly one of the creeps looks and he sees a squirrel, and he lunges for it and eats the whole fucking
I
squirrel.
think it was Wart.
It was
Yeah.
Wart, and one of the other kids is like, oh, I don't like him with the skin on.
Yeah.
And someone else said something weird.
It was a little
Animal abuse?
Huzzah!
Live squirrels.
Death to squirrels. Ooh.
Here are the identity seeds. We must plant them at the school. Then everyone will be changed. We could put the identity seeds in the cafeteria food.
And they're in the cafeteria. They're like, here, Commander, take the seeds and put them. We have the perfect plan.
You do it.
Put them in the macaroni and cheese because all the cafeteria workers are currently on their 10-minute break.
Something else.
They're on their 10-minute break. And so Ricky Beamer is like, oh, I got the perfect idea. He takes the bag and he like fake trips and he spills the chips all over the place.
Here's another bag.
I got spares.
Yeah, yeah, just in case this kind of thing happens.
What are you doing here?
Look, you can't serve this for lunch.
I know what you kids say about my tuna surprise. I'm not deaf.
He sneaks back over, dumps him in, gets caught by one of the lunch ladies. Why is everybody fucking making fun of our food?
Why
we
does
use
everyone
real
think-
cheese and blah, 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 blah.
And then it's like immediately lunchtime, and like he just kind of accepts that everyone is going to eat it. I'm like, oh, so you're not making an effort here at all.
No.
But then no one turns into creeps.
Yeah, the creeps are all confused as to what the heck, why isn't this working? And then Ricky out loud says, oh, I know, I forgot. Nobody eats the mac and cheese at this place. Like, it's like the unspoken rule of Harding Middle.
Everyone knows in Harding that the mac and cheese is the worst.
Yeah, Dick Warts Harding.
I don't think he's a commander.
I think he's lying.
This is when they start to question Ricky being a creep. They're like, you're not a creep.
Yeah.
Turn into a creep. Turn into a creep. And he starts to freak out when all of a sudden Iris, who's disappeared for a couple of days, emerges. She's like, don't you talk to our commander like that.
I'm his lieutenant.
You know, they believe
Okay.
her. She's very believable and like, okay, well, we're going to do the bake sale plan.
They're gonna make a bunch of cookies with these seeds in them.
And give them out for free.
Give them out for free.
Yep. And Iris pulls Ricky away from the creeps, and he's like, oh, I'm not a creep. Like, how do you know about this? Are you a creep? And she's like, no, I overheard you talking to them.
Random shot wheel.
That's a bab.
Bam.
That's a bab.
Stupid fucking random.
Random shot wheel for bam.
We could bake cookies and put the seeds in them.
It's a brilliant idea. Congratulations, Commander.
And at this point, I'm like, okay, Iris is a new kid. She's been missing for a while. She didn't answer the phone. She wasn't there when she was supposed to meet Ricky.
She's the commander.
I was like, yes.
I thought I had figured out this plot immediately. I was like, because the second she mentioned bake sale and then they started talking about the seeds, I was like, oh.
Spoilers, it's not Iris. Iris is actually
It's
human.
a huge red herring.
It's a red herring, and I'm like, do you think R.L. Stein's ghostwriters were smart enough to make it a red herring, or do you think they were so dumb they couldn't connect the fact?
I almost feel like they must
Maybe-
have like everybody writes a page and see what happens.
Do you know what this fucking book is? Do you know what movie this is? It's speaking of New Kid as well. It's that teenage movie with Josh Hartnett and Elijah Wood. The Faculty.
You're right.
This is The Faculty.
No, you're right.
That's a great movie, by the way.
Oh, the faculty's whole.
Have you seen The Faculty?
The faculty is
dude.
fantastic.
98.
Put him the fuck down, Furlong. This is for the best, Zeke.
So fast forward to the big climax. It is Saturday. The big sale. Everyone is selling baked goods for, like $1, except for Team Creeps. They're giving away these cookies that have the magic transformation seeds in them, and they're giving them away for free.
Stop! It's Ricky the Rat. What does he want? Ricky the Rat. Ricky the Rat. Ricky the Rat.
He goes, no, don't eat the cookies. They're all creeps. They're gonna be creeps. Don't eat
And
it.
everybody starts calling him Sicky Ricky and Ricky Rat again.
Once they eat the cookies, you'll be their ruler. Their ruler?
Of course, they'll be your slaves.
They'll be your slaves if they eat them.
Yeah,
They have to answer to you.
Everyone will be your slaves. You have to give it to them. And he's like, slaves? And they're just laughing at me. And then he just starts passing out the cookies to everyone.
Dark ending.
Dark ending.
Tricked him.
Just take it before he clinks. Oh, God. It's so bad.
Oh, you heard it here,
You got it.
You heard it here.
I was trying not to spill on myself.
So bad.
I like that you're screwed. You okay?
I'm good, dark ending. So post-book thoughts. Bob, you brought up a great point.
Where's the real commander? They even say, oh, you got here a few days before us.
They set it up to look like Iris. They decide not to go down the obvious route, but then we never know who the commander is.
Yeah,
I think it doesn't matter because it just becomes Ricky.
Oh,
Because he starts eating the cookies.
No, Ned's
too.
right. It doesn't matter. It's the commanders we made along the way.
And weirder and weirder.
Well, well, well. If it isn't Ricky.
Was this the Back to the Future theme song?
Was that about John Bonet?
Maybe you should reveal your real plan, Commander. Commander Ricky, Sergeant Iris.
You just
video
leveled
game?
up. Yeah, you just leveled up.
Who can resist a free cookie?
Then they'll all turn into creeps.
What cookie dough is that, like, liquidy?
It's tuna casserole cookie.
I guess.
We're ready, Commander.
I don't think that's enough.
Hold on, the whole big vat made that many cookies?
I know, right?
Like 12 cookies?
Sorry, Iris. But from now on,
Ooh, look at that special effect. We can't show them all.
I was gonna say we can't afford.
We'll do the glasses.
We can't afford more than 3 masks.
That's not bad. That's pretty
It's smart.
That's
no,
smart.
I agree.
you can't beat him.
No!
Oh man, look at his glow up.
So that was the episode. What did you gentlemen think?
It was pretty much a spot-on adaptation of the book. I think the one nice thing was actually seeing Iris's reaction at the end when he decides to go basically evil. That was cool. Mm-hmm. What did you guys think of the book?
It was the opposite of most of the other books. So, like, most of the time, the book I like, and then the ending kind of sucks. This one I'm going opposite. The book was meh, but then I really liked the ending, because I like when he was finally just like, alright, fuck you guys. I'm going to rate it just a regular old 6.734.
I enjoyed this book. I thought it kind of flowed nicely. It was never really too boring. I would give this an 8.5. And on top of all of that, I love that the protagonist at the end is like, you know what? I'm done being bullied. I am just gonna screw all of you. You're all gonna be my slaves. I'm on board with that. 8.5.
The ending, 100%. Him being like, fuck it, I'll be the bad guy. Okay. Now he didn't think it out. I would like to know what happens in the sequel, but there isn't one.
Goosebumps 2000.
I don't know if they made another.
I don't think they did. I don't think that. It's like Goosebumps 2000, calling all child molesters.
Basically.
Calling all R.L. Steins?
Oh.
So I give it a plain old 4.
Just a plain old 4?
Just a plain old foreskin.
Oh. Oh, God.
Before we move on to the next book, got a couple notes and shout outs. We're kind of backlogged because we filmed a bunch of episodes in summer, and then I took a while to edit them.
Then you went back to work.
Yeah. First off, shout out to Dennis in Baltimore, who sent us a nice donation.
Dennis,
thank you very much. Warren from North Carolina says, been a longtime fan, and I finally decided to throw some green your way. Here's a Goosebumps related story from my youth. I sent a fan letter to R.L. Stein and received a fact sheet about him in return. Who knew R.L. stood for Real Loopy? Can't wait for you guys to make it to The Haunted School, one of the darkest Goosebumps stories by far. Also, random shot. Warren.
North Carolina Warren.
Thank you very much.
Random.
We also got a donation from Tessa in AUD. So I assume Tessa is from Australia.
Oh, crikey! Thanks, Tessa! Well, I sure would like to get down there and visit y'all in the down under. No,
You're like half redneck, half Australian. Right, are you crocs, rugger? You choking, you walker, you trouser? Oh, cloggy, I'll live you, clogger. Yeah, it's all Foster, yeah, you stubs muzzle.
We got a note from our good friend Shane Sean up in Canada. I don't know if you guys remember, but Shane Sean and I frequently talk about Degrassi because he lives, I think, in Ontario. But he says, hey, Jason, it's Shane or Sean from Canada. Thanks for pumping out all the new content. Keep up the great videos. I hope everyone stays safe.
So far, so good, I think.
We're still here, I guess. Thank you, Shane.
Or are we? Is this being released posthumously?
Thank you to Nathaniel in Cicero, New York. Here's a shout out to Brandon from Eustis, Florida. Brandon says, guys, I've been doing some rewatches during quarantine. It's strangely comforting. I appreciate all your hard work drinking and reading children's horror literature, plus the writing, editing, and production. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bob and I killed
We
that.
crush
Fuck
it.
off. Fuck off.
We crush it so hard.
What are you fucking upset about? You just dick around all day.
Oh, fuck off. Corey from Chesterfield, MI, which some of us think is Missouri and some of us think is Michigan, says, keep up the good work. I've enjoyed your videos for years. Also, Amy, you are gorgeous.
I think Max will have something to say about that.
Yeah, what about us? Are we not gorgeous?
He'll say thank you.
Quick thank you to Matthew in Brooklyn, Ohio. Thank you for the donation. Thank you to Nick Williams, who did our new theme song. He has a slew of very good television covers on his YouTube channel. We're linking it below.
Well, that about wraps it up for Goosebumps number 50, Calling All Creeps. Join us next time for Beware the Snowman.
Ooh.
He's got a heart of cold.
He's like Snowman Neil Young.
Oh man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you.
Creeps rule.